dear educators, teachers from different parts of the country and abroad. Very good morning to everyone. You know why I drank some water? Bindu ma'am, why?
You are a proactive person.
Thank you. I didn't expect this much serious answer, but good. Thank you. हम संग है ओ तेरे मेरे सपने अब एक ही रंग है हम संग है. Thank you. So we are together here now this morning on 28th. Thank you. And the topic is very simple. I hope it's a simple topic to everyone, right? Yes. Improvisation of teachers' caliber and standard of teaching. Simple topic. The term, there are two key terms. Number one, improvisation, and number two, standard of teaching. Now, how to balance these two? Okay. And the slide is very clear. I don't know whether the direct access is there or not. Where should I point to? There? Yes, okay. So, welcome to 28th December 2022. One and only day in our life now. And tomorrow it's 29th. So we start with a positive thinking. And it's very simple again. Positive thinking is not only about expecting the best to happen, but to accept all what happens in our life. This is called a positive thinking. So it's not necessary that everything will happen as the best one in our life. But whatever happens, we make it the best. Yes. I think it's a little... Do we have another slide changer which is not so sensitive? Fine. Where to point it? Here. There. Okay. Anywhere. Fine. So, okay, cool. Objectives of the session. What's improvisation? Why is it required? How to assess teachers' caliber? Strategies, methodologies for improvisation. Benchmarking, standards of teaching, and methods. So these are the topics we are going to deal with this morning. So can I call one or two people here on stage? And we know the front benches will be ready for that, right? They will not be ready. So we are going to call back benches. Ma'am, one who is sitting right at the back, could you please come on to the stage? The last one who is sitting. Please. Okay. Okay. Open call to the second half, this side. Anybody, could you please come? Okay, please come. Thank you. Please come. We usually tell the students that they should be ready to come, and sometimes we are also very much hesitant for taking up initiative. Good. Ma'am, your name please? Sangeeta. Okay. At this moment, what would you like to comment on the topic improvisation of teachers' caliber?
As a teacher, I feel that every day we should learn something. The attitude of learning. Whether we are 20 or 80, if you stop learning, we'll be always 80. So it's better to learn something every day.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Ma'am, yes, can I ask? Excuse me, please. Yeah, please come. When I'm coming, she doesn't look at me at all, thinking that I'm going to point it here. Please. Yes. Okay, ma'am, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, sure, please. You should, yes. Okay. What are your expectations from this session?
As a teacher, I hope you will explain how to improve your standard teaching methods, how to deal with the students, how to deal with the parents, and how to improve our teaching. This much.
Okay, suppose I have the machine to test your BP now. How much will it be? It might burst. Thank you. Please. Thank you. No, man was very confident. Okay. Right. So, let's start by thinking whether the world has changed or not. We are going to compare two periods. Number one, our school days, and number two, today. So we are going to check some 2-3 points. Number one, communication. And second, careers, methods of purchase and education. What are the changes that have taken place in these areas when we compare your school years and your life today? Who is going to speak? If you don't volunteer, I'll be asking. So 1 hour and 15 minutes, please be on your toes. Yeah, ma'am, please. First point, only one point.
Only one point.
Communication.
I will not say exactly communication, but when it comes to talking, when I was in school, I was punished for it, and today I am paid for it.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. So, second one, careers. What is the change that has happened in the field of careers? Ma'am, third man. Yeah.
About career, I think when I was young, I was to think that I should become a businesswoman, but now I'm a teacher.
Okay. What were the prominent careers existed during your school time and comparing with the time you are now?
Now
The change I'm asking, the transition.
there is a lot of changes, sir.
For example,
Now I think there are a lot of careers. In our days, I think it was teacher, doctor. It was very much limited. Now I think there are lots and lots. Thank you, sir.
okay. Thank you so much. Yes, yeah.
As a social teacher, I will tell you that during those time, primary and secondary were more. Now tertiary jobs are more.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yes, and the third one, methods of purchase, sir.
Before we purchase directly from the local groceries or someone, now it's the online shopping, e-commerce,
Okay. Is it cash transaction we are doing?
online transaction.
Online.
Online transaction.
What do we use for that?
So we use the
True.
Google Pay,
Yes.
different pays are there.
True. Okay. Shalini ma'am, have you heard of currency? What's the latest currency, ma'am? Yes? Ah, Bitcoins. Right. Okay, cool. And entertainment. The changes. Have you seen this one any time in your life? Yes. Yes, you have. And now? No, not even a drop to find. Right, okay. And? Okay. Communication. The old. Francis, sir, I think you might have used the first phone, right? During your time. Yes. And now we have the mobile phones, latest smartphones. Right. And yes. Do you know what is this machine? What do we call this? Or stencil. We cut stencil and roll on the top. Yes. And we turn the wheel and the photostat copies are coming. Right. Yes. People of my generation might not have used, but the people before me might have used. Okay. And jobs, methods of payment, whatever you told is correct. Okay. Education field, yes. We started with the typewriter. And now, of course, yes. So, NSI. Please remember the term NSI. never stop innovation. Never stop innovation. Yes, so change is inevitable. In 1998, it was 1,70,000 people who were working with the Kodak company, who was supplying the maximum amount of paper for the photography industry. What will happen to Kodak? It's not there. Okay, anybody is having any HMT watch here? Anyone? You have an HMT watch? Oh my God, you are the only one I think. Okay, you too. Okay, thank you. That's good. Okay, anybody is having Nokia mobile phone? No? But they were the king in the market once upon a time when the mobile phone was introduced, isn't it? Sir, do you have a two-wheeler? Abdul Salam, sir? Which brand? Is it Rajdoot? No. Suzuki is okay. Rajdoot was once upon a time, yes, very prestigious vehicle, and now, no, it's not there. And you know which is the company, the biggest company who does not own even a single car in the world? Ola and Uber. The biggest hospitality or the hotel which does not have its own hotel building. Why? How it happened? All these things show that the time has changed, and there were some people who did not tick the boundaries, who did not think out of box. They got stagnant. They couldn't come up. And those who thought, those who did some kind of revolution, they were able to do that. The UNESCO studies tell that 1.3 to 1.5 billion students and the youth suffered by the school and university closures. And these closures are impacting over 72% of the world's student population, and it has got a catastrophic impact on the society. That's what happened from 2019 and to 2022 or 21 end for 2 years. So, see, it reminds us that the responsibilities of the teacher has increased to bring them back to the normalcy. Ken Robinson, great teachers are like great doctors or lawyers. They have a whole repertory of skills, techniques and approaches and a lot of experience. But the real skill is knowing which skill to apply where and how to adapt it to the people in front of you. So the people who are here, the people who are gathered here, we are all equipped with a lot of skills. But as we tell, we should know when to use which tool. Sometimes we tell, no, he's black belt in karate, but he doesn't know which step to take when somebody is coming to attack, because he has learned it theoretically. So here also this is what happened. We have learned a lot of things for our TTC, Teacher Training Certificate, during B.Ed, during M.Ed, graduation, post-graduation, MPhil, PhD, and post-research. But sometimes we are not coming up to the mark or up to the expectations of the students and the teachers. This is just to go through. There are 4 types of people or 4 categories of people in every organization. The first one is willing and able. So you can see in the metrics here, one is will, another one skill. When these 2 things join together, then only the person becomes proficient. And here, able and willing. There are many people in an institution, in our school. Able, ability. The person is efficient. Second one, willing. Interested to do. The attitude is what? Willing. And second category, willing but unable. The person is ready to do whatever task is assigned, but not that much efficient. That's okay for the institution. And the third one, able but unwilling. The problem is with the attitude of the teacher. Sometimes we tell, no, see, that teacher is really good, but doesn't want to do anything. Sometimes this is the comment the principals used to make, isn't it? So it's not lack of efficiency, but attitude. And the last one is really dangerous, unable and unwilling. Not at all capable and not at all willing to do. then why should they work in the school? Isn't it? Eh? So instead of being an asset to the institution, they become what, Biniman? Instead of being an asset, they become liability. Liability, yes. Commerce teachers will be very happy to tell those two words. See, the first one, sponsor them. The people who are willing and able, sponsor them for anything. They will excel in that field. And second one, willing but unable. Educate them, empower them. They will be empowered and they will be assets to the institution. The third one, able but unwilling. We need to counsel them because the problem is with their attitude. The last one we need to confront, means terminate them immediately from the institution. Those who are unable and unwilling. Okay. Now what are the qualities of a good teacher? So the question comes. Rakesh sir? Yes. According to you, just tell me only one quality according to you which is the most important for a good teacher. Just one.
Apart from the competency?
No, only one point.
To be able to understand the need of the child.
Please give me in one word.
Understanding.
Understanding. Okay, thank you so much, Rakesh sir. Ma'am.
A teacher needs to be a good listener.
Teacher needs to be a good listener.
Role model, sir.
Yes, who's that? Yes. Oh, sir.
Role model.
Yes, Jain sir. Right, okay. Thank you. Should be role model, ma'am. Chitra. Highly encouraging, ma'am. Lifelong learner, sir. Efforts. Growth mindset. Yes. The teacher should be passionate. Connecting with the children. To be adaptable. Yes. Pardon? Knowledgeable. Perfect in subject. Subject expertise. Self-confidence in the teacher. Yes. Yes, Anil Kumar sir. Yes. Good attitude. Yes, sir. Individualization. Jacob sir? Ready to improvise the point that we are going to talk. Dedication. Creativity. Yes. Should be an actor. Yes. Could you just elaborate it with one sentence? One sentence.
The word educare to bring out the qualities of the students. Can I sing a song for you? जब दीप चले आना, जब शाम तले आना, संगीत मिलन का भूल न जाना, मेरा प्यार न बिसराना, जब दीप चले आना. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Friendly, flexible. Need to be a good listener. Yes. Resourceful. Thank you. Now it's 1 minute for you, or maybe 10 seconds for you. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, activator.
Empathetic.
Sir,
Yes.
activator.
Thank you. You told around the 32 qualities when I was taking a round. Please. Introspection. How many qualities are there in you now out of the qualities that we told? Think and tell. Don't tell anyone. But a moment of introspection. What is the percentage of qualities that I am having in me? Have I tried for inculcating these qualities in me or not? Right. Okay. So I do have just a few. See, like honesty, leadership, patience, understanding of child psychology, love for their subject, love for learning, ability to manage parents' expectations, very important. It's very important. And effective communicator and child at heart. It's a new piece of information. Child at heart. That means the children will be very eager to learn so many things. So these are some desirable qualities plus whatever you mentioned. I do agree with you. Right. Whether the teachers are having these qualities or not, sometimes the teachers are having these qualities. Still we can see they are unhappy at their place of work. What can be the reason for that? According to you, one by one. Yes, ma'am. Okay, sir. Okay, one word only. Okay, yeah. Oh, who is that? Ma'am? Yeah, overburdened. Who told that? Yes, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Yes. Overburdened with responsibilities at school. Yes.
Attitude.
How?
Attitude.
Good attitude.
There, negative.
Wrong. Negative attitude. Thank you.
Salary, sir.
Salary is a problem for a teacher to be unhappy. No, she is right. Yes. Oh, so it was an agreement. Okay, thank you.
Unrecognized.
Unrecognized. They are not recognized in the institution.
Lack of motivation.
Lack of motivation from the authorities.
Unmet expectations.
Unmet expectations. Yes. ma'am. Restricted freedom in the institution. Okay. Means
Post-pandemic, it
Okay.
is 24/7.
കുയിലെ പിടിച്ച് കൂട്ടിലടച്ച് കുയിലച്ച് oh yeah, right. Means the person is chained in the institution. Last, those who are sitting at the back. Documentation. Yeah, lot of documentation. True. So, see, from a research, we have got this result. Okay, it's an empirical research that was done, and I've taken the data from there. So, out of 100, the maximum is this blue-colored one. 23% says personal issues. If you are not happy at your workplace, nobody else to be blamed except you. Because of your personal issues, you are unable to perform well. And next one, 18% is lack of preparation. When you go to the classroom, if you are not well prepared, you will be irritated in the class. That irritation will be followed, or it will be following you to the staff room. There also you will show that irritation. Because the expected result was not there from your student. So lack of preparation. And the third one, poor classroom management. Suppose you never tried your best to find out which strategies are the best one for managing the classroom. If you have not explored, again, you will be unhappy. Negative attitude of teacher. You have seen, no? I mean, from different perspective, we can think as a principal or as a teacher, as an educator. We can think that, yes, if we are a person with a negative attitude, we will always be unhappy. We can never find any kind of satisfaction. Then lack of management support, stress of deadlines, ill health of teachers by chance, not by choice, and students' lack of initiative and high class strength. Suppose there are 40 and above students in one class, the teacher can never be happy because the teacher cannot give more than 1 minute or even maybe 30 seconds per student can be given. So these are some of the reasons. And the last one is parents' issues. Sometimes parents come to the school and without knowing the fact, they fight with the teacher or they blame the teacher, school administration and all. That makes the teacher unhappy. Now, as I told, part 1A is improvisation of teachers' caliber. That's what we are going to. All what we did was just an intro and a brainstorming of where we are. Okay, what is improvisation? Improvisation is something that develops one's creativity, mental flexibility, and thinking skills in numerous ways. Improvisation. Excuse me, ma'am. Why do you think improvisation is required?
Because nowadays everything is changing, so the teacher has to change according to the changes around us, and also that will help us to achieve the goal that we have trying to achieve.
Thank you. Actually, this answer was there in me, but I wanted to drink some water, so I wanted to engage with you. No, thank you. Okay, so improvisation develops one's creativity. When we never look back, the creativity becomes stagnant in us, and it develops mental flexibility. Okay, there would be a point when I talk about different types of intelligences. I'll talk to you about this one. Then thinking skills. So improvisation is very important. And there are two types of improvisation. Number 1, spontaneous, and number 2, pre-planned. When a teacher goes to a classroom, the teacher goes with a pre-planned strategy and teaching learning materials and improvises yesterday's class in a better way. That means it's pre-planned. But sometimes it's not pre-planned. As the situation turns out, the teacher makes certain spontaneous comments and something what she has practiced and turned to be successful in the past will be used there. This is called spontaneous improvisation. So there is no question which is the best one, but of course if you really want to do the improvisation, pre-plan should be there. We need to work for that. Issues related to student achievement are derived from 4 areas. Always our problem is student achievement. If the management fights with the principal, it's for the student achievement. If the parents come to fight with the teacher, it's because of student achievement, lack of achievement. So there are 4 areas. Number 1, curriculum. That's what we teach. Number 2, quality of instruction. How we teach. What's the teaching methodology that we are following in our classrooms? The third one, effectiveness of schools where we teach. TQM. How will you expand it? Total quality management. The last one, characteristics of students whom we teach. So, in a nutshell, what we teach, how we teach, where we teach, and who we teach. 3 W's and 1 H. 3 W's and 1 H. You are shaking your head. Which are the 3 W's, madam?
Where?
Very good. And H. Your name, please. Thank you. I'm satisfied. Thank you. So, these are the 4 areas where the issues are related to student achievement. If we John Dewey, you might have heard, one of the proponents of early periods of experiential learning, John Dewey, he told, if you teach today's children like yesterday, we rob them of their tomorrows. If we are using the old method of lecturing in the class, teacher-fronted, teacher-oriented, teacher-focused method, where student is a passive listener, you are robbing their tomorrows, because whatever will make them fit for the coming century, they will not be getting. Yes. So, challenges. What are the challenges in the classrooms? Very simple one, you know all these points. How do I move beyond traditional teaching? Do I make any deliberate effort in moving beyond the traditional teaching? How do I develop activities beyond, that is challenging as well as engaging? These 2 terms are very important. Number 1, whatever activities the teacher is devising for the students should be challenging. Suppose we are setting a question paper for class 5. We don't ask them to write the multiples of 2. It's not challenging. We will not ask them to write down the capital letters and small letters because it's not challenging. We'll be asking them to write down maybe the multiplication table of 15 or 20, square roots, something like that. Because that is something challenging. That's why when a child is 4 months, we give Cerelac. And when the child is 2 years old, we don't give such things. Because it's not challenging for the child's digestive system. Because the child has grown much more than that. Here also, one is challenging, second one engaging. The task that we are giving to the students should engage the students. It's very important. And whether we use the available resources or not, in many of the schools, very simple, I'll tell you. For the social science teachers, there are maps, globes, charts. Do we use them properly? The school has invested. Many schools, they have installed interactive panel. If the technician is not there, the teacher is not going to use, because the teacher doesn't know where is the USB slot, where to switch it on, whether there is a wall socket or not. Because we did not take the deliberate pain to learn that. So resources are available, but we don't know, or I don't take pain, and how to handle the expectations of demanding parents. So it goes like that. Teach the able and challenging child in the same room. We call it in the educational methodology, we call it as mixed ability class. The classroom where the challenging as well as the able student, both are mixed. So mixed abilities class. The last one remain lifelong learners to acquire new skills. Sometimes the teachers, or we, I mean everyone, we have got an attitude in our mind. When we completed our post-graduation and B.Ed, that's enough. And we secured a job, that's fine. Why should we be lifelong learner? Yes. So, these are some of the challenges. You might have heard of this person, a business tycoon. 7th wealthiest person in the world. Around 80 billion US dollars asset. Warren Buffett. And you know, he told 3 things. In a human being, you have to check for 3 qualities. Do you know which are the 3 qualities? I didn't tell. I'm going to tell. Okay. Number 1. Yes?
Integrity.
That is the 3rd one. And first one? Energy. Intelligence. And the 3rd one is there what ma'am told. Suppose we are intelligent. Number 2, we have the energy and enthusiasm to perform the duties. But if you are not having the 3rd one, don't even bother about the first 2. What is the last one? Integrity. Integrity is the coordination between what you speak and what you do. So, he is the person. He is the gentleman. See, look for 3 things in a person: intelligence, energy, and integrity. If they don't have the last one, that means integrity, don't even bother with the first 2, because it's of no use. So as teachers, we always, if we are happy teachers, we create happy spaces. Wherever we go, we can see the vibrancy, the positive vibe. Positivity will be visible wherever you are. And your friends, they will not go away from you, but when they see your presence there, they will come. They will gather around you. This is what is happening in the classroom as well. If you are a positive person, the children will come to you. If you are absent, children will tell, oh, teacher is absent. If you are a negative person, oh, teacher is absent. Oh. So that makes a big difference. Now, what are the happy teachers do? They spread positive energy. 46% of people told that a happy teacher spreads positive energy in the class or in the school premises. They create interest and better learning in the class. If you are a person with positive attitude, you create interest among the students and you facilitate better learning amongst the students. And you provide physical, emotional, mental comfort. How many of you take care of the children's physical comfort in the class? Suppose there is a bench, the capacity is for 5 students, 6 students are sitting very tight. Are we bothered about their comfort? And it's very important, only physically if they are comfortable, only then they will listen to us. Otherwise they will be restless. And that will disturb the class and foster social responsibility and good progression. Now, activity 1. Activity 1. I hope you have a notebook with you.
Yes.
List 3 to 4 things you hope that will be covered in this session. I think no need to write it down. You can just tell now. Number 1 is, I showed you the objectives of the session. Improvisation. Yes, teacher's caliber. Standards. Okay. Methodology. Fine. Benchmark, yes. Huberman. He is one of the authorities in the field of professional development of teachers. And he told there are 3 stages for a professional. The first one is novice. Ma'am, who is a novice?
New.
Ma'am, who is a novice? New. Fresher. And second one, mid-career. Maybe after 15 years of service, mid-career. And the last one, late career, means almost the retiring period, maybe 3-4 years before retiring period. Exactly like him, I think you were trying to take a snapshot, right? Exactly like a Huberman, there is another person who has done great researches on the professional cycle of an employee. And his name is Fessler. He, along with Judith, he published a paper in 1985. And he has got Teachers' Professional Growth and Development. So a small exercise is going to be given to you. How many stages are there? 8. The first one and the 8th one are numbered. The other one are in a jumbled manner. We have to reorder. That means the first one, pre-service. Yes, the period before getting a job is called pre-service. And second one, induction. So induction will be number 2. Okay, after that, competency building. Yes, competency building. You know, ma'am? Enthusiastic and growing. Okay, fine, good. And after that, what happens? What happened? Immediately after enthusiastic, will we become stagnant in our profession? Brainstorm, think. If you don't think, and under the air conditioned, if you are sitting and sleeping, you are wasting 1 hour 15 minutes of your valuable life. So think. Competency building. After that, career frustration. And as a result, what happens? Career wind down. Let's see whether it's correct or not. The first one, pre-service. Second one, induction, you are right. Third one, competency building is correct. Enthusiastic and growing. Career frustration, stable and stagnant. Career wind down to bring it down. And career exit. This applies to everyone's professional life. This is a cycle of profession. Bini ma'am, if you are unable to see, please, one chair is here. Please be seated here, right? Struggling to see. Yeah, please. Yeah. So, after induction, what happened? Now, especially here, if there are teachers who are new to the profession, after induction, we know that you will be trying to build up different types of competencies in you because you want to get established in the job. And after that, you will be very enthusiastic. In the early period of your profession, you will be very enthusiastic. Whatever the principal or vice principal or school management and authorities tell, you are ready to do that. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Or yes ma'am, yes ma'am. And slowly, as we get established in the profession, that enthusiasm level comes down. And it comes to career frustration. Here what happens? We start criticizing the policies of the management. We start criticizing the decisions of the authorities. And of course, frustration starts coming out. And as a result, our growth becomes stable. Slowly it is stagnant. There is no point that you will go ahead. And when you are here, the career, it will start winding down. And then there is a very good solution from the management. And that is this one. Career exit. So, what we have to do is, we are talking about improvisation. Where should we start improvisation? Once we are enthusiastic and growing, immediately after that, we have to improvise. Otherwise, the negative attitude will influence us and we will be into the career frustration. Huberman also told about professional life cycle of teachers in 2011. He told, when we are in years, the early years, 1 to 3 years of teaching, what happens? Career entry, survival and discovery. The teacher, as we used to tell, survival of the fittest. Once we get a job, we want to survive. We want to show that, yes, I'm an asset for the institution, and we will be discovering so many things. 4 to 6 years, getting stabilized. When we are working for 5 years in the institution, we feel that, yes, now my position is secure and safe. I am stabilized. 7 to 18 is a period where we are doing experimentation, a lot of activities. And slowly what happens, 19 to 30 years, relational distance or conservatism is coming. Is there an English teacher here? Could you just raise your hand, English teacher? Yes. Excuse me, sir, what's the meaning of conservatism? Yes. Sticking to old mentality, right? Yes. Like for example, there are some people now who are there, their chronological age might be 10 or 15 years, but mental age will be in 50s. So likewise, it happens. And the last one, disengagement. I mean, this is the period, this is, very rarely people get to this period, 31 to 40 years. Only you will be getting it only if you start your career at a very early age. Otherwise, you may not be getting this. Because suppose you start your career at 25, 30 means 55. So some people will ask, some management will ask you to quit by 56. If the management is good and you are enthusiastic, they will allow you to continue up to 60. That's the maximum, sometimes even then. If our attitude is really good, they will post you as senior principal, administrator, management representative, something like that. Some designation will be given to you. Okay, fine. So that's the period. List the professional development activities you got involved with in the course of the last 2 years. Could you please jot it down? I'll give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. What are the professional development activities you got involved within the last 2 years? Everyone should write down 3 to 5 activities, and we are going to ask from here and there. 30 seconds only. Yes, please start. Ten seconds more. Only 3 to 5 activities you have to write down. 5 seconds. Time's up. Yes. Please read. Ma'am, one activity. To conduct exhibitions. To conduct exhibitions. Okay, that is one of the professional development activities that you did. Okay, fine. Thank you. Now, next we are moving on to a profiling grid for language teachers. I have prepared, or the one which I have taken applies to the language teachers, but this can be used for everyone. Everyone should prepare
a profiling grid. This will help us to improve our caliber. Whatever things are written here, whatever we don't have, we have to work on that. So, first one, if it's language, language proficiency and language awareness. Suppose you are an English teacher and you are unable to speak English fluently, you are not fit for that post, because children will judge you on the basis of that. Suppose you are a social science teacher, just delete the two words language, social science proficiency, social science awareness. And if you are a mathematics teacher, yes, mathematical proficiency and mathematical awareness. You can substitute with the subject that you have. You have to prepare one, if not now, later. Okay, because our time is only up to 10:45. So we have to move. Next one, qualifications. Whatever qualifications are required, I'm sure that you are having necessary qualification. Next one, core competencies. And here, the methodology, knowledge and skills, lesson and course planning, interaction, management and monitoring, then assessment. Are you good at these areas? Assessment, what is assessment? Do you know? Yes, evaluation. How will you do that? Through exam, which is an integral part of education. Are you good at setting a good question paper? And we used to tell that you have to write, no, you have to prepare a question paper. And the Westerners, they used to tell that you have to write a question paper. That's a proper usage. And the student will take the exam, you will write the exam. Teacher will write the exam, student will take the exam. So, how good are you in preparing the tools for assessment? Are you good at planning your lesson? The whole scheme of work for the annual for 1 year, and suppose you have a 40 minutes class. How good are you at planning your lessons and interaction, then all these things, okay. Complementary skills will be different from person to person. Complementary. Because certain subjects require digital media, certain subject doesn't. Step 3, jot down what you thought about the profiling grade. Where do you think you are in your teaching career? What tangible activities can you do more to go beyond your present state? There are two terms I am going to present in front of you. Number 1, current reality. And number 2, aspirational reality. Could you please jot it down? Number 1 is current reality. Number 2, aspirational reality. As a teacher, what's the current reality? Have you ever tried? Where am I as a teacher? Suppose you are a principal. Where am I as a principal? Whether my skills are going with the skills that are required for a good principal. What about my administrative skill? Is it good enough to manage the institution? So, you may just write down the current reality, aspirational reality. These are two terms I told. Number 1, what is that? Current reality, where we are. Aspirational reality, where I should be. Actually, the teacher in me, where should I be? What should I be? If my students would like me, if the parents expect a lot of things from me, and if I have to meet their expectations, where I should be. These are the two things, and we need to work on that. How can we go beyond our present level of competencies, knowledge and skills? What are the things that can be done? All these points are coming under improvisation. Why improvisation is required, what is improvisation, and how and when to do that. Teach like a pirate. It's a tough word, right? Pirate. Can you just tell me? I just changed, otherwise you will read the slide. Okay. Ma'am, what is the specialty of a pirate? You know who is that, right? Who is a pirate, ma'am? Deep oceans. Okay. Yes. What are their characteristics?
They are
Adventurous. They may go into the unexplored areas where people have never explored. So teach like a pirate. It's a very popular book, not written by me. Luckily it's not me. Yes. So Dave Burgess, author of the book, explains pirates are daring, adventurous, and willing to set forth into uncharted territories, unexplored areas. They are entrepreneurs who take risk and are willing to travel to the ends of the earth for that which they value. That description of the pirate spirit sounds exactly like the character we need more of in education. Always we should be daring. We should be adventurous to try out different methodologies and strategies in the teaching learning process. And for that we need to work hard. Yes. Now, how to improve? The first step. How to go beyond the skills that you have right now. What is it? Number one, begin with the end in mind. When you see this name, do you remember anyone? Yes? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you have not read, please do. Yes, it's a must read. And he tells, begin with the end in mind. In mind. I mean, before you start something, make sure that yes, you achieved it. Visualize it. When you are planning for a Himalayan trekking, you know how adventurous it is, how frightening it is, how risky it is. But visualize that you are on the top of the Himalayas with a flag and standing for and posing for a photography. That will give you the strength to proceed. Determine the desired end result. Set short-term objectives for reaching goals. Short-term. Don't go for too long. Okay, short ones. And adjust objectives as conditions change. Yes. Next one. So, number one, begin with the end in mind. Number two, we always tell the students, you have to get 21st century skills. They have to get 21st century skills. And you know, the teachers are like water tanks and the students are taps. Only if there is water in the tank, then only once the students open, they will get it. And for that, first we should know what are 21st century skills. Why do we need it? Why do our students need it? Comments over the subject. This is not 21st century skills, but if you are a teacher, yes, you need to have it. And interpersonal skills. And next one, lifelong learners. There are so many. I used to tell, Shaldi ma'am is our vice principal in our institution. Ma'am knows that I used to tell our colleagues, be lifelong learners. Register for some courses. If you drop to some courses in between, restart. The best time. And as you achieve, your self-confidence will be increased. A person with the knowledge will be very confident. So go ahead, encourage. And joyful learning, innovative and creative. All these things are some of the 21st century skills that a person should have. And for that, CBSE has taken a lot of initiatives. And you see, experiential learning, which was introduced by CBSE in 2018, and then joyful learning in the next year, 19, multidisciplinary and art integration, almost towards the end of 2019. And now, as we know, if the teachers are not submitting the art integrated projects, admit cards of class 10 and 12 cannot be downloaded. CBSE has made it very clear. So these are some of the initiatives. Step 4. Take a moment and think what kind of a professional activity would suit you best at the present stage of your career. As I told, 2 things we have to find. Number 1, current reality. Number 2, aspirational reality. And you know, suppose, see, when you analyze yourself, you found this is the current reality as a teacher. I am unable to meet the expectations of my parents. I am unable to make my class interesting. Sometimes students' faces tell that my class was really boring. If we are there, what kind of professional activity we should go for? Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, the trio, and Plato told, do not train children to learn by force and harshness, but direct them to do it by what amuses their minds. I think CBSE read this quote from somewhere and they started art integration. This is very important. The habit institution protocol. When I was reading a book written by Robin Sharma, 5 AM Club, I got it and it's really very interesting. I thought I'll share it with my colleagues. You know, see, while improving or while developing a new skill, we have to start some practice. The first 22 days, that is called destruction, means that may disturb our comfort zone. That will disturb our daily routine. Suppose we want to cut down our weight. Either we go for any kind of Ayurvedic medicine or we start morning or evening walk. That will disturb. So the first 22 days, if you are able to survive, well begun, half done. So in the process of the habit installation, the first 22 days are very crucial, which we call destruction period. Either you will proceed or you will stop in between. Number 2, this is very important, installation. Suppose you crossed the first period, the next 22 periods are very important for you because that habit is going to be installed in you within the next 22 periods, 22 days. Suppose you are able to pull on for 1.5 months with something that you started with. Suppose learning a new language, learning dance, and learning music, learning a new skill, learning driving, whatever is there. If you are able to continue for 44 days, the next one is, it is going to be part of your life, which we call integration. You will never lose that after that. That means 22, 22, 22, it comes to 63 days. That means 2 months only you have to proceed, and that becomes part of our life. This is important for improvisation. NSC. What is NSI? Never stop. Innovation. NSC? Never stop. Communication. Never stop communication. Never stop communicating with your students. Yes, whatever it is. You should be an effective communicator for your students. Now I am going to talk about communication only. Communication, part of improvising. Discipline with dignity is a classroom management strategy. Discipline with dignity that was developed by Richard Irwin and Alan Mendler in 1988. I'll tell you what it is. Very simple. Discipline with dignity. To maintain discipline in the class, it's not necessary to be rude and use harsh words with the children. It's not necessary to shout at the students to maintain discipline. The classroom strategy says that be gentle with your students. The last sentence. The basic principle of this strategy is the idea that everyone in the school setting is to be treated with dignity. Because even though they are children, they like to be treated with respect and dignity in front of everyone. Because we are teachers, we don't have any right to shout at the students, to insult someone in front of the class. Yes, again, types of communication, very simple. One is passive, number 1 aggressive, third one assertive. Broadly, if we divide the communication, between the teacher and the students, between the teacher and the colleagues. The first one, very passive. Whatever the students are telling, passive listener, you are not very much interested to listen to. Number two, aggressive. When the children are telling something, immediately you react. When our colleagues are telling something, we react. And the last one is assertive, which is the ideal one for everyone. Firm and gentle in your talk. Firm and gentle. Assertive with what you tell. So this is part of communication. We are going to wind up in 10 minutes. So if anybody is sleeping, please get up. Later on, you will not get a chance to listen to it. It's a very important topic. Ola. Ola caps. Very easy to remember. But this Ola stands for O. Observe. Don't speak. Observe. L. Listen. A. Ask for clarity. Ask for clarity. Not asking for the fact. If you are asking for the fact again and again, that means you were not attentive when the person spoke to you. So, number one is observe. So, observe. When the students are coming to you, observe their facial expressions. Observe their body language. Observe the temperament that they carry, which is something related to emotional intelligence by Nicole, who has written a big book. Number two, listen. After observing, you listen to what they have to tell you, a patient listener. That's why we tell God has given one mouth and two ears. Listen more, speak less. And the last one is ask. After listening very comfortably and very carefully, ask for the doubts. The same thing is written here. Same thing. Observe, look at the person carefully, look at the facial expression, eye contact, gestures, postures, etc. And number two, pay attention to the words, tone and facial expression. Last one, ask to clarify, to reconfirm. Yes. Are you a people person in the classroom? P-E-O-P-L-E. Just if you make it as an acronym, what does it stand for? P for posture. The way you stand in front of your student matters a lot. Stand in a place where everyone can see you. Take a position in the class where you can have good eye contact with everyone. We are blessed with 2 legs, so stand on 2 legs. Some people are standing like this, no? Or sometimes we just take our leg and the support on the wall and stand sometimes. These are wrong postures. And E, eye contact. Third one, organized. Your class should be organized. Your body language should be organized. What do I mean? When I talk to ma'am, eye contact, very much organized. My behavior, the way I stand. And the next one is participative. When we give any task in the class, make it participative. I told 2 things. Number 1, challenging, and number 2, engaging. What are the two words, madam? Challenging and engaging. So participative means class should be engaging. And learning, real learning should take place. When someone was interviewed, I still remember somebody told that in America we learn and in India teachers teach. You understand? In India, teachers teach. In America, students learn. It doesn't mean that our students don't learn, but we always give more importance for teaching in the class. We give or we take less time to check whether the students learned what I taught in the class. Right. Suppose we have got 35 minutes. We will be teaching, we will be going on teaching for 20-25 minutes. Maybe finally we will be asking a few questions, or while I am teaching, maybe just to check their understanding, we will be asking a few questions. Okay. And expressive. When you teach, you should be expressive. When, suppose ma'am gave an answer, okay. And what is the communication? What is the language I am giving? Okay. At the same time, like, wow, super, wonderful. Be expressive. And if you are not happy, show it on your face. No. Sometimes suppose the student is not disciplined, express on your face and restrict the words that you will be using. Right, winners do in spite of problems. Winners do something in spite of their problems, whereas losers permanently rationalize. The losers are coming always with excuses and justifications. I couldn't achieve the learning outcomes because of these reasons. Who is interested to listen to the justification and reasons? When you are going to the classroom, you are supposed to achieve the learning outcomes at the end of the class. Right. Then, from I can't, remove that T and I can. Attitude should be there. Another thing, failure is never failure, but it's one step before success. We should tell the children how to celebrate success. It's quite fun to do the impossible. I'm going to give you one example from Kerala. Yes, who is this person? Name is written. Jilumol. Does anyone know her? Anybody? If anybody is there, can you just raise your hand, say hi? Nobody? Jilumol, Marriott Thomas. She's from Todupuzha. And in 1991, she was born without hands. Thalidomide syndrome. A physical disorder. Still, the parents took care of her and she was able to complete her graduation in graphic design and animation. Then her mobility and going to some places became a difficult thing, and she applied for a driving license, and the RTO from Todupuzha refused to give a driving license, saying that the people with 2 hands, 2 legs and all, they are making so many accidents. And you are a person with this physically challenged, why should I take risk? There is no provision for you to get a driving license in India. If you find out someone who has got a license before in India, if you can cite only one person, I'll give you license. And as you know, she will fight for that. She started inquiring from different angles of India, here and there. Finally, she found one Mr. Agnihotri, who was suffering from thalidomide syndrome, without hands, has been issued with a driving license. Immediately she approached Todupuzha RTO and she was given the driving license. Now the problem is she has bought a vehicle with a lot of alteration and all, and she is unable to register the vehicle in her name because that provision is still to come. So what I am telling is, this is a living example in front of us. A person with a lot of constraints, physical constraints. If she can do wonderful things, I was telling someone, God has given you everything. You are physically perfect. Why don't you go for a driving license? How she struggles. Okay, she's doing animation. Fine. NSS. Be grateful to God Almighty for whatever has been bestowed upon us. What is NSS? Never stop. Never stop smiling for all what we have received. Don't forget. So again, it's quite fun to do the impossible. Never give up with the limitations or constraints. We are going to wind up now. A few more slides only. John G.V. told, give people something to do, not something to learn. And the doing of such a nature as to demand thinking, learning naturally results. Don't give anything to learn, but give something to do, and that activity demands thinking, and of course, by default, learning will take place. Yes. Adversity is the grindstone of life. There are so many people in the world. We are talking about teachers' caliber. See, Beethoven composed his greatest works after becoming deaf. You know about his symphony and all this. If Columbus had turned back, no one could have blamed him. But he took up the risk. Martin Luther, he translated the Bible while enduring confinement in the castle of Wartburg. John Bunyan wrote Pilgrim's Progress in a Bedford jail. I mean, people had a lot of adversities in life. But still they fought. And life is the most difficult exam. Many people try to copy others, not knowing that everybody has got different test papers. Once we realize that everybody is having different test papers, we will never try to copy somebody. We will identify our own potentials. SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, threats and challenges. Just a few suggestions for the teachers, new ones or established ones. Individualized learning. Whenever you are preparing some lesson plans, some materials, make sure that you are devising the activities or the tasks according to the different caliber of the students. One fits for all or one quote fits for all doesn't work. We have to go for individualized one. A small tip for the people. 10 minutes of instruction with 2 minutes to process is 10-2 theory. 10-2 theory we call it. This is very practical. When you are doing something, when you teach something, never continue for more than 10 minutes. A task should be stopped. Give 2 minutes for them to process their brain work. Whichever may be the subject. That is called 10-2. Next one is again simple, 37-90. 37 stands for minutes, 90 stands for seconds. That means after teaching for 37 minutes, means 30 to 40 minutes, give physical movement for the children for 3 minutes, that is 90 seconds. This is the reason why in almost everywhere the duration of a teaching period will be 35 to 40 minutes. It is just because of the psychological fact that you should not teach for more than 37. 37 may vary, 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes here and there. But generally speaking, after half an hour, you should not continue, but you should give them some time to move physically. Then create lots of starts and stops. Very simple. Never go non-stop. You teach one topic, stop. Start it again or start a new point. Stop after 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Start another one. Why? Because human mind requires time for processing. Okay. Next one, standards of teaching. Standards of teaching. What are standards? Something established by authority, custom or general consent as a model or example. Standards. Benchmark. Okay. Crystallized and fluid intelligences. This is what I wanted to tell. I think it was in 1967 or no, 1963. Raymond Cattell, his name. Raymond Cattell, C-A-T-T-E-L-L. Raymond Cattell published a paper that he said that general intelligence can be divided into two. One is crystallized intelligence and second one is fluid intelligence. What is crystallized intelligence? The intelligence or the memory that is crystallized, which will process only the information that has been stored in our mind before. Crystallized intelligence is the intelligence that will process only the information that has been stored in your mind. Fluid intelligence means the intelligence to be flexible as per the changes. Now, which intelligence is the best or which is required for a person? Fluid intelligence, adaptability, flexibility in an institution. So don't we want the crystallized intelligence? Yes, we want to recollect the historical data, geographical locations, mathematical tables, scientific formulae. All these things we need the crystallized intelligence as well. 5 standards coming towards the end. Higher order thinking. When we talk about the standards of teaching, our children should be able to get these things from a teacher. Number 1, higher order thinking, hot questions. CBSE is taking a lot of efforts. Number 2, depth of knowledge, the topic that you are teaching. And third one, connectedness to the world beyond the classroom. We know that, right? Give them some examples related to their life, their day-to-day life. And the fourth one, substantive or substantial conversation. Conversation which has got substance. And the last one, social support for student achievement. These are the 5 standards of teaching. Yes. what happens? We have got the standards. And Sir Ken Robinson, who is a motivational speaker, writer, and educationist, he tells that for most of us, the problem is not that we aim high and we fail. It's not the problem. We aim too low and succeed, and we are happy. We are satisfied with that. That is the problem here. Whereas we have to raise the bar of expectation. We have to raise the bar of quality. And then only we have to work. And that will improve the quality. Raising teaching standards. How? Set high expectations which inspire, motivate, and challenge people. Aspire to inspire before you expire. And to promote good progress and outcomes by pupils. Demonstrate good subject and curriculum knowledge. Plan and teach well-structured lessons. Adapt teaching to respond to the strength and needs of all pupils. Make accurate and productive use of assessment. Manage behavior effectively. And fulfill wider professional responsibilities. When we will do these things, the standards of teaching will be improved. In our school, we will see 3 types of people. I'll give you an example. Before, when we go to an electronic shop, sir, which brand will you look for if you are going to buy a TV? Before, some 20, 30 years. Onida or the foreign brand, Japanese? Yes, Sony, right. Why? Because your demands are product based. It was there before, maybe 30, 40 years before. Product's name is very important, brand name. My child should study in Delhi Public School. My child should study CMI school. My child should study so and so. Product. And number 2, it changed. Customer service oriented. People understood every time whenever we require, the customer service should be better from the school. And people started going for that. So brand value is secondary and customer service is important. Now that also changes. Experience based. For example, the parents walk into the institution, if they are getting a bitter experience, getting into the principal's cabin, excuse me ma'am, please issue the TC for my child. There are other institutions which will meet my expectations. So we have to come up to that level. What is reflection? Just another method of how to raise the standard. Reflection. Only what is reflection, you know? Refers to an activity in which an experience is recalled, considered. This is very important. From the teachers normally think what to teach and how to teach. What to teach and how to teach. Make a change. Yes. What did I teach and how did I teach? Reflection should lead you, reflection should tell you, what did I teach in my class today? How did I teach? Is very important. And the answer is, see, all these things you will find out. Teacher reflection, there are 2 points. Number 1, teacher with students, and number 2, the teacher himself or herself. Self-reflection. With the students, teacher can ask, was this activity successful? Why? Why was it not successful? If we do this again, what can I do? What improvement will I make, will I bring to do this activity again? And did this activity help you learn more than other activities we have done before? And why do you think? The teacher can find out 3-4 minutes at the end of the session. And teacher's self-reflection, what happens? Teacher has to ask himself or herself, do my assessments really reflect learning or merely task completion or memorization skills? Am I just completing the teaching and coming out? Or am I teaching the children to memorize what have to be taught? Why did I really choose this particular lesson to cover this objective? What evidence do I have my students are learning? All these questions are for the teachers for self-reflection. Nothing to speak about it, right? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, India's pride. He told, if you remember me, don't remember me as a missile man. Don't remember me as an ISRO chairman. Don't remember me of my humble beginning in Tamil Nadu. Don't remember all these things. But if the world remembers me as a teacher, that's the greatest honor for me. And here, instead of APJ Abdul Kalam, we should replace our name. We should read. If my student, if the management remembers George as a good teacher, that's the biggest honor for me to get in my life. This should be the bottom line finished. WBX told, education is not the filling of a pot, but the lighting of a fire. The teacher is going to light a fire in the minds of the children. And once that fire is there, rest of the work will be done by them. So, just to recap in 1 or 2 sentences, finished, my job is over. This is references. And thank you, yes. So, just recapping, what is improvisation? Why should we improve? What are the different types of intelligences? And what are the standards? Which are the areas you have to focus? What are the issues faced by the teacher? These were the major topics that we were discussing during this period. So, very humbly, thank you so much for being with me during this time. Okay, I was asking questions and you are very cooperative. Thank you so much. I should thank the people behind the screen. Abdul Salam sir, Dr. Abdul Salam, and Shibu sir, Biju sir, and the whole team, yes, starting from there, and everyone behind the screen. And how can I forget the patron of this program, our Francis sir, and everyone, Jayanti ma'am, and A to Z people, everyone. And of course the audience, yes, without you, only empty room will be there to listen to what we speak. So once again, thank you.